Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Off the Shelf. I'm your host, HD, and this week, what we found off the shelf was...
You seen Johnny Boy? Kid's trying to duck me.
We don't pay mooks. What's a mook?
You can move. Hey, hold up. What's wrong with you guys? We're friends.
He is crazy. I mean, he is driving me nuts.
What, are you crazy?
I appreciate everything you're doing for me, you know? I mean, I do.
I guess you could safely say that things haven't gone so well tonight. But I'm trying, Lord, I'm trying.
What, are you talking to yourself?
Honorable men. They will pay their debt tonight in Mean Streets.
Mean Streets, released in 1973. It is written and directed by the legendary, the one and only Martin Scorsese, starring Robert De Niro, who actually, this is the first of many collaborations between De Niro and Scorsese, also starring Harvey Keitel, I believe is how you say his name. This film is a crime drama film. It is a gangster film, like a lot of other of Scorsese's movies. It takes place in Little Italy, and it is kind of small scale. Right? I think they literally describe it as like a slice of life in Little Italy, kind of. Well, criminal life. But essentially, the movie is kind of chaotic. I feel like I didn't get all of it. You know, I feel like to fully get the movie, I have to watch it again. And I also almost forgot to mention that this movie was actually Martin Scorsese's first critical and commercial success. With a $650,000 budget, it made $3 million in the box office, which that's pretty damn good, especially for 1973. That's real good. Quite the profit this movie was, and I can't say that if this movie came out today, I would see it in the theater. I mean, it's just good, right? But as I said, it is chaotic. So there's some stuff that happens at, like, the beginning of the movie. I feel like I'd need to rewatch it to fully understand what's going on. You know, because obviously as the movie goes on, you kind of understand, like, a semblance of what's going on, you know? Like, Robert De Niro's character is a bit of a loose cannon, right? He's really irresponsible, kind of a child a little bit. He's not really very good with choices. He's a very bad decision maker. Right, he's kind of a gambler, he's kind of, he's a bad kid, right? And obviously Harvey Keitel's character is kind of trying to help him throughout the whole movie, but De Niro doesn't want the help, so he's just kind of making it worse for himself and Harvey Keitel the entire movie, right? And of course, being a crime drama film, spoilers, by the way, I mean, even though the movie came out like 40 years ago, just heads up, at the end of the movie, the loan shark that De Niro just kept dodging throughout the movie, shoots him. Shoots him in the neck, shoots Harvey Keitel in the hand, and then they crash their buddy Tony's car, which, how's he gonna fix that? He's gonna have to get a new car now? Look what you did, Robert De Niro. You fucked everything up. It's all your fault. And I think this movie is a testament that Robert De Niro has always been a great actor, I believe. Like, he's great in this movie because he's good at playing, like, a really... Like, you kind of don't like him. He's kind of the worst in this movie because he's a punk, doesn't take anything seriously, and he's just making things worse for himself, and he doesn't even give a shit. Right? Which, I mean, I guess is a little respectable. He just has no care for anything, right? But he literally says that he owes, like, money to everybody in town. He owes money, like, from everybody in town. Everybody he owes money to. Which, that's a weird way of saying it. Basically, he's borrowed money from everybody, is what I'm trying to say. I'm saying it weird. But, obviously, Harvey Keitel's character is kind of a straight man. He kind of just hangs around the whole movie. He doesn't really get involved in anything that bad. You know, he doesn't really even get in trouble. I mean, the only reason he kind of gets in trouble is because he's vouching for Robert De Niro, who, like, everybody in the movie is basically like, you need to stay away from that guy. He's a bad influence. He's bad for you, right? You shouldn't help him, you know? He's just gonna bring you down with him, right? His uncle, who is like a mafioso, you know? And I don't think correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Harvey Keitel in the movie isn't a mafioso, and if he is, he's pretty lower echelon, right? He's not really high up. He's, as I said, this movie is very small scale. So essentially in this movie, Harvey Keitel is a collector, like he collects money from people for his uncle, who is, a gambler, which was illegal at the time, racketeering. So this movie's not really about the Don, it's not The Godfather, right? There's not, like, super high-ranking mafiosos in this movie. It's about smaller scale stuff. Obviously it's still illegal. They're still doing crime. They're still doing bad things, but it's not even, I don't even really think it would be, like, on Goodfellas level even. But I like that. I really do like how this movie is very tight-knit. It's in this small little area. They don't even travel outside of the little, like Little Italy, the place where they live. They don't even travel outside of that, which I like. Obviously, the film being low budget is another reason for that. But I think the closer, tight-knit story, it gives you more opportunities to learn about these characters. This movie is pretty character-driven, right? Because obviously there is the story of Harvey Keitel trying to get Robert De Niro out of his debt, trying to help him out, because he's buddies with him, and he's trying to do that. But the movie is, as I said, kind of just a slice of criminal life, at least in the 70s. And I like that. I also like how, in a lot of Scorsese's movies, the dialogue is, like, a lot of the improvisation. The characters, like, have really good banter between each other. I did also like how at some points there were just, like, random fucking fights would break out for not seemingly no reason at all. Like, there's maybe one that seems a little strange, but, like, certain points in the movie, there will be people just, like, fucking fighting and dragging each other across the room, and, as I said, the first half of the movie, I do feel like I need to rewatch, because I didn't fully digest everything that was going on, right? Because there was, obviously there was a scene that introduced us to all the characters, like, it showed them doing something illegal, and then it would, show their name. Okay, so that's where the freeze frame was. I was wondering the whole time. There's a scene, I believe, where Robert De Niro's character, Johnny Boy, he puts a bomb into a mailbox, or like it's a mailbox, and then he runs away, and then it explodes, and then as it explodes, and as he's running away, it freeze frames, and it says Johnny Boy, and then it unpauses. But I was wondering, I forgot where the freeze frame was. Or, I'm pretty sure that's where the freeze frame was. Sorry. But I did, as I said, I liked the story, I liked the characters. I also liked how the end of the movie was pretty realistic. I mean, really, there was no escape for Robert De Niro's character. I mean, he'd already dug himself too deep, and I'm pretty sure he understood that, right? He wasn't trying to escape. I'm pretty sure he knew he was going to be dead sooner or later, right? And so, I mean, they don't show him dying, but I mean, he got shot in the neck. So, I mean, and he was losing a lot of blood. Like, I mean, if you get shot in the neck and you don't get immediate treatment, then you're probably gonna die. I feel like that's pretty safe to say. But I can't say he didn't have it coming, because the whole movie he was basically asking for it. I mean, literally the scene before that, he threatened the loan shark that he took the money from. He called him a jerk off, and he said, the only reason I kept taking money from you is that you don't stand up for yourself, you're a jerk off, this and that. He was just fucking insulting him. And then he pointed a gun at him, and they noted that there wasn't any bullets in the gun, but he was still threatening him with a gun. He didn't know that there weren't any bullets in there, right? So he was just kept making it worse for himself, and then the climax, he gets whacked, right? Because, I mean, why wouldn't he? As I said, he literally brought him upon himself the whole movie. And I can't even say I was that bummed out about it, because he was kind of the worst, right? He was a dick, and he was an asshole, and he only really looked out for himself. He didn't really care about Harvey Keitel or his cousin Teresa in the movie. He just kind of was very irresponsible the whole movie, and I was kind of like, well, yeah, you asked for it. But I just think that, well, I've heard people say that this is the first movie that kind of has Martin Scorsese's signature style, the profanity, violence, the crime stuff, the freeze frames, the monologuing, the narration. Because this movie does have not a whole bunch of narration, but there is narration here and there. and it does have that signature Martin Scorsese style. I do like that, and I think this movie, for everything that it's worth, I think it is a good start to Martin Scorsese's, I guess, gangster film saga of all the gangster films that he's made. And I think I would recommend this movie to you if you are a Martin Scorsese fan, and if you haven't seen it. Say you like Goodfellas or any of his other, not even gangster movies, if you just like any other Martin Scorsese movie, I feel like you would like this one because, I mean, it's Martin Scorsese. He's one of the greatest living directors of our time, right? Like, it's a good movie. Just go watch it. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a good movie, and I would recommend it. And with that being said, what would I rate this movie? I think I would rate this movie a 7.5 out of 10. And, yeah, I think I've said what I need to say. Thank you so much. Peace. So guys, if you like this video, share your friends, subscribe, turn those notifications on, comment down below and make sure you liked it. And I've been Mr. HD, off to borrow some money. Even though in the movie, it's like, that's a bad thing. That's like, it shows it's a very bad thing because it's the entire reason Robert De Niro gets killed at the end, and it's Harvey Keitel almost gets killed, and Harvey Keitel's girlfriend almost gets killed, or might get killed, doesn't really say. It's bad mojo. You don't want to borrow money from loan sharks. It's not good. Not the best idea. You know, they'll get you if you don't give them back their money, which you probably won't because you're borrowing money. You wouldn't be borrowing money if you could pay them back. So, I'm just saying it's not a good